Fantastic.
Hello, ladies. How's it going today?
Good,
Great.
thanks.
Good. Good to see you. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. So far, I'm loving this series, and I was in when I found out that this was being made because I was a huge fan of Normal People. Sasha, let's start with you because I wanted to know how familiar you were with the book. Was it something that was on your radar, or after you got the role, did you like run out and go, I gotta read this?
I didn't know about Sally Rooney at all at that point, but when I got the email to audition for it, because there was no script, I only had the book to go off of, and so I asked for the book kind of as my way of saying, am I going to do this or not? Do I want to audition for it or not? And I read it in a day. So I think that went to show like that I loved it and I thought it was great and immediately wanted to start working on it. Yeah.
And Jemima, for you, I mean, oh my goodness, wow, Melissa, what all these characters are so great, but they're so complicated, and I think we can all relate to one or all of them. And I wanted to ask you, was it difficult for you to make Melissa relatable? Like, when you read her off the page, you're like, how do I do this, and how do I make her someone who people can relate to? Was that difficult for you? A challenge? Maybe?
Yeah, it definitely was. She's the least fleshed out character in the book, just by nature of her not being as close to Frances as the other two characters, because everything is from Frances's point of view. And so I had to fill in lots of blanks. Which was not difficult, challenging, it was, and kind of fun. I think the difficult part was allowing myself to have that much agency, and the pleasure of it was that Lenny was so open to those conversations and so encouraging of that kind of decision making.
Yeah, like she's a writer, obviously. Did you find that you had to kind of get yourself into a mindset of like maybe sitting down and I'm going to write a few things, I'm going to see a book from you now?
Yeah, I thought about that aspect more than I admitted, but I really did think about what kind of a writer she was, and that was probably the part that I tripped up on the most, because the type of writer I think she wasn't the type of writing that I would do at all. Which is totally fine, and but it was something I had to. Which is something that, if anything, it just informed the fact that she wrote these types of essays that she did. Just informed other parts of her that then I could relate to. That's the way it is. You just you burrow little holes for yourself, and you find ways in.
Yeah, absolutely, Sasha. It's interesting because obviously, most of this is all between the four people and bonding and who goes with who. And I don't want to give away too much if people aren't aware of the story. But I want to know what it was like when the four of you got on set first time. You can't buy chemistry. And I love the way it all works between the four of you. Was it an instant bond? And what did you guys do to kind of get into that bond, maybe offset?
We all had sex with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That really
one by
breaks
one.
the ice.
We knocked them all down. But what? No, that's all right. I stole that question from you.
Other than that,
Yeah.
we had a lot of rehearsal time, so we naturally were spending time around each other, going over things. But then I think it did kind of just like naturally form this chemistry, and then it was it's the pandemic. We couldn't go outside of our bubble, so it was like, you want to hang out, cool. And we genuinely liked each other, so the more time we were on set, the more time we were off set, the greater the bond went. And so it kind of was very luckily just organic.
Yeah.
It was, and it felt like the producers and Lenny and the casting directors all were in on this conspiracy.
Yeah.
When
It
they
all
cast
worked.
us, that we weren't aware of until we all met each other. This conspiracy that like, we have cast you, but we've more than cast you. We've nailed it, or we've tapped in. We've done more than casting here. We've done something else. But I thought my earlier thought was that maybe it was the thing that we all shared with our characters was that it was a vulnerability, was a specific kind of vulnerability that, you know, I share with Melissa or Sasha shares with Bobby and da da da.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and having the opportunity to shoot in Ireland, I mean, what a gift. Seriously.
I loved Ireland. I was pretty much the only one who enjoyed Belfast.
yeah.
Whatever. I liked it. Those
No,
are my
I
people.
love Belfast, but like up north where it was, you know, like Viking country. It was the most beautiful landscapes I've ever seen. You know, I mean that's I'm stretching it a tiny bit, but it was like I mean, it was the greenest landscape I've ever seen for sure.
I liked all the pubs and the people, like the old men at them. Like that was such a vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, sex and pubs. What else can you ask for, ladies?
Nothing.
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 Yeah, I think you've got the best roles in your lives. Seriously, I don't know how you can top them. Listen, congratulations on this. You guys are fantastic in this series. I loved it, and best of luck to you. Thank you for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.